The next speaker is Matsushima Yasukatsu from Simin Gaiko Center, following by our remote speaker, Mrs. Mariam Walid Abu Bakrim, Association of Tenhian. So now I give the floor to Matsushima Yasukatsu. You have the floor.
Yeah. Hello. Thank you very much, Chair. My name is Yasukatsu Matsushima. I am a representative of Nirai Kanai-no-kai Shimin Gaiko Center. Japanese government likes to use the name of Okinawa as a part of its own territory. But I would like to use the name of Ryukyu because it has been the independent country before 1879. In 1850, the Kingdom of Ryukyu government had concluded a treaty with amity with the United States of America, France, and the Netherlands. These three countries and the Qin dynasty had recognized the Kingdom of Ryukyu as an independent country. Japanese government had confiscated and disregarded the original text of these treaties and the annexation of it. After that, Japanese government has colonized the Ryukyuans had been discriminated by Japanese as secondary citizens. Academic researchers in the Kyoto Imperial University had robbed more than 400 bodies of human remains of our ancestors from graves in the Ryukyu and Amami Islands. They had used the discriminatory relationship with the Ryukyuans, the Japanese, after the annexation of the Kingdom of Ryukyu. These researchers had wanted to justify the annexation of it, and the Japanese are better than the Ryukyuans in the point of eugenics by the measurement over the Ryukyuans' human remains. Japanese government had recognized the effectiveness of those treaties of amity when they had taken off them from the Kingdom of Ryukyu. After World War II, security treaty between Japan and the United States of America had been concluded with paying no attention to treaty of amity between Kingdom of Ryukyu and the United States of America. Japanese government violates the UN Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples, especially Article 37 concerning the observance and respect of treaties and agreements. Japanese government should recognize the annexation of our nation and apologize and compensate us for the destruction of it and have a meeting with us to make a treaty for new political status in the future. Kyoto University should return our ancestors' human remains to original graves in the Ryukyu and Amami Islands on the United Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples, especially Article 12 concerning rights to religious traditions and customs as well as the repatriation of human remains. We have been damaged by the robbery of our ancestors' human remains for the separation of spiritual relationship with land. Kyoto University and Kyoto District Court violate the UN Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples, especially Article 25 concerning the rights to distinctive spiritual relationship with our traditionally owned lands, which include graves. Thank you very much. Nife Davitam.
Thank you for your statement. Now I'm moving to the remote participants. So I invite for a statement to Mariam Walid Abu Bakrin, Association Tin Hinan, Indigenous Organization, African Indigenous Peoples Network.
She's not connected.
Okay. I'm informed that she is not connected. So I'm moving to the next speaker in my list is Goshiken Takamatsu from Gamapuya, following by Khamars Kampuchean Krom Federation. So now I invite for speaking to Goshiken Takamatsu. You have the floor. Yes.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. My name is Takamatsu Goshiken. I am representative Gamafuya in Ryukyu. I appreciate the opportunity to raise an urgent problem that Ryukyuan indigenous people face. Currently, difficult issue in Ryukyu is existence of the Japanese and American war potential based on the Treaty of Mutual Cooperation and Security between the United States and Japan. The treaty does affect Ryukyuan indigenous peoples, but it was concluded without respect for their rights, neglecting rights to self-determination and participation in decision-making, as well as non-militarization of indigenous lands provided in Article 3, 18, and 30 under the UN Declaration, respectively. I encourage the EMRIP treaty study to deepen an analysis of such treaties that affect indigenous peoples but ignore them. Notably, Japanese and American forces have repeated the military training planning to construct 40 bases in the Ryukyu Islands and attack the Chinese forces if Taiwanese conflicts occur. Ryukyuan indigenous peoples do not have any intention to attack China. Attacking from Ryukyu means the area would be battleground. I urgently request states and UN bodies to realize the non-militarization of Ryukyu indigenous peoples' land and territories, as well as the rights to peace. Thank you. Nihei Debiru, Tantika Tandi, Mi Fayu.
Thank you for your statement.